The story of American Airlines Flight 191. Hello everybody, welcome back to Disaster Diaries, the show where we explore all kinds of disasters, financial and physical. My name is Namit and today we are going to talk about the American Airlines Flight 191, which in this picture you can see didn't end well. Introduction. American Airlines Flight 191 was a regularly scheduled passenger flight operated by American Airlines from O'Hare International Airport to Los Angeles International Airport. On May 25, 1979, the McDonnell Douglas DC-10 operating this flight was taking off from runway 32R when it crashed into the ground after the left engine detached. All 258 passengers and 13 crew on board were killed, along with 2 people on the ground, with 273 fatalities. It is the deadliest aviation accident to have happened in the United States. History. The aircraft involved was a McDonnell Douglas DC-10 registered as N110AA. It had been delivered on February 25, 1972, and at the time of the crash, it had logged just under 20,000 hours of flight time over 7 years. The jet was powered by 3 General Electric CF6-60 engines. A review of the aircraft's flight logs and maintenance records showed that no mechanical discrepancies were noted for May 11, 1979. On the day of the accident, in violation of standard procedure, the records were not removed from the aircraft and were destroyed in the accident. This picture shows N110AA, which was the aircraft involved in the accident, photographed 5 years prior. Flight crew. Captain Walter Lux, age 53, and this is him, had been flying the DC-10 since its introduction 8 years earlier. He had logged around 22,000 flying hours, of which about 3,000 were in the DC-10. He was also qualified to pilot 17 other aircraft, including the DC-6, the DC-7, and the Boeing 727. First Officer James Dillard, age 59, and pictured here, and Flight Engineer Alfred Yurevich, 56, also pictured here, were also highly experienced, 9,275 hours and 15,000 hours respectively between them. They had 1,830 hours flying experience in the DC-10. Accident. On the accident flight, just as the aircraft reached takeoff speed, the number 1 engine and its pylon assembly separated from the left wing, ripping away a 3-foot section of the leading edge with it. The combined unit flipped over the top of the wing and landed on the runway. The only crash-related audio collected by the recorder is a thumping noise, likely the sound of the engine separating, followed by the first officer exclaiming "Damn!", at which point the recording ends. This may also explain why air traffic control was unsuccessful in their attempts to radio the crew and inform them that they had lost an engine. In addition to the engine's failure, several related systems failed. The aircraft climbed to about 325 feet or 99 meters above ground level while spewing a white mist trail of fuel and hydraulic fluid from the left wing. The engine separation, though, had severed the hydraulic fluid lines that controlled the leading edge slats on the left wing and locked them in place, causing the outboard slats to retract under air load. With the left wing stalled, the aircraft began banking to the left, rolling over onto its side until it was partially inverted at a 112-degree bank angle with its right wing over its left wing. This picture shows the debris of the engine. The aircraft eventually slammed into a field about 4,600 feet from the end of the runway. Large sections of aircraft debris were hurled by the force of the impact into an adjacent trailer park, destroying 5 trailers and several cars. The plane also crashed into an old aircraft hangar located at the edge of the airport of the former site of Ravenswood International Airport. The aircraft was completely destroyed by the impact force. In addition to the 271 people on board the aircraft, 2 employees at a nearby repair garage were killed and 2 more were severely burned. The crash site is a field located northwest of the intersection of Toohey Avenue and Mount Prospect Road on the border of the suburbs of Des Plaines and Mount Prospect, Illinois. Investigation. The disaster and investigation received widespread media coverage. The impact on the public was increased by the dramatic effect of an amateur photo taken of the aircraft rolling that was published on the front page of the Chicago Tribune on the Sunday 2 days after the crash. Some early reports indicated that a collision with a small aircraft had been the cause of the crash. The small plane parts were subsequently determined to have been on the ground at the time of the crash at the former General Aviation Ravenswood Airport, a facility that had been out of service for a few years. An owner there had been selling used aircraft parts from a remaining hangar building. During the investigation, an examination on the pylon attachment points revealed some damage done to the wing's pylon mounting bracket that matched the shape of the pylon's rear attachment fitting. The NTSB, or the National Transport Safety Board, determined that the damage to the left wing engine pylon had occurred during an earlier engine change at the American Airlines Aircraft Maintenance Facility in Tulsa, Oklahoma, between March 29 and 30, 1979. On those dates, the aircraft had undergone routine service, during which the engine and pylon had been removed from the wing for inspection and maintenance. The removal procedure recommended by McDonnell Douglas called for the engine to be detached from the pylon before detaching the pylon itself from the wing. However, American Airlines had developed a different procedure that saved about 200 man-hours per aircraft. This new procedure involved the removal of the engine and pylon assembly as a single unit, rather than as individual components. The method chosen by American relied on supporting the engine/pylon assembly with a large forklift. Aftermath. The crash of Flight 191 brought strong criticism from the media regarding the DC-10's safety and design. The DC-10 had been involved in 2 accidents related to the design of its cargo doors: American Airlines Flight 96 in 1972 and Turkish Airlines Flight 981 from 1974. The separation of Engine 1 from its mount, the widespread publication of the dramatic images of the airplane missing its engine seconds before the crash, and the second photo of the firewall resulting from the impact raised widespread concerns about the safety of the DC-10. The final blow to the airplane's reputation was dealt 2 weeks after the crash, when the aircraft was grounded by the Federal Aviation Administration, or the FAA. Although the aircraft itself was later exonerated, the damage in the public's eye was already done. Legacy of the DC-10. On June 6, 1979, 2 weeks after the crash, the FAA suspended the type certificate for the DC-10, hereby grounding all DC-10s under its jurisdiction. It also enacted a special air regulation banning the DC-10 from US airspace, which prevented foreign DC-10s not flying under the jurisdiction of the FAA from flying within the country. This was done while the FAA investigated whether the airplane's engine mounting and pylon design met relevant requirements. Once the FAA was satisfied that maintenance issues were primarily at fault and not the actual design of the aircraft, the type certificate was restored on July 13th and the special air regulation repealed. The type certificate was amended, however, stating, "Removal of the engine and pylon as a unit will immediately render the aircraft unairworthy." Memorial. For 32 years, the victims had no permanent memorial. Funding was obtained for a memorial in 2009 through a 2-year effort by the 6th grade class of Decatur Classical School in Chicago. The memorial, a 2-foot-high, 0.6-meter concave wall with interlocking bricks displaying the names of the crash victims, was formally dedicated in a ceremony on October 15, 2011. The memorial is located at Lake Park at the northwest corner of Lee and Towhee Avenues, 2 miles east of the crash site. A remembrance ceremony was held at the memorial on May 25, 2019, the 40th anniversary of the accident. The plaque shown in this picture is the plaque at the memorial. It reads, "We remember So it's time for credits. All of the pictures in this video have been taken from Google, all of the information taken from Wikipedia, and the video used in my video, that is, has been taken from this other video from the Flight channel about the same disaster. Check it out for an even more experience. So, thanks for watching everyone. Feel free to like and share the video, comment down below and give your opinion on the crash and suggest new topics for me to cover, and please do subscribe for more content. So this is Naman now, signing off. So stay home, stay safe, and I'll meet you in the next video. Have a nice time and goodbye.